This one time I fell in the toilet.
I killed a baby.
Hey guys, Helena here.
And Grace over here. Well, this video's a little different. We're not doing a challenge. We're doing embarrassing or funny stories.
Yes.
And we got some really weird ones. Just bear with us. And by the way, I didn't let her kill a baby. It was a dream.
Kellen was in it.
I'll just go ahead and tell her. Okay, so we were in a car, and it was me, my mom, her, and Kellen. It just started moving, so I was like, okay, well, I gotta stop it. Well, somehow, it flew across an intersection, killed a baby, and
OMG, guess what I just noticed?
landed in the side of a mountain. Yes.
I had these pants on in the last video. I have changed my pants since then.
My Dr. Pepper, by the way.
I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Okay, so, anyway, this one time, I was really sick. I was about 7, I think. Yeah, I was about 7, and I was so sick and tired, and I didn't want to get up from my bed to go back to the bathroom again and again and again. And I was, like, throwing up sick. So, I decided I was just going to sleep in the bathroom for the night. So, I was, like, sitting there, and I, like, laid my head on the toilet, right? And I forgot to close the lid before I laid my head down. So, I'm, like, sitting in the floor, right? So, like, hold on, Dr. Pepper.
Simulation.
So, like, here's the floor and here's the toilet, and I put my head, like, right there. My fingers are cold. So I put my head, like, right there on the toilet, and then all of a sudden I, like, I fall asleep, and then I, like, tried to move my head a little bit to get more comfortable, and I fell on the toilet, and right when the cold water of the toilet, it was just clear water, guys. So, the cold water of the toilet touched my face, and I was like, whoa, and I woke up, and I never told people.
I believe.
Ignore it. I don't even know who it is. Yeah, ignore it.
In 2nd grade, I was sitting in the back of class, and it was snack time. So I had these cheese balls, You all remember those? I don't know if they still have them. I think they do.
They do. I think I have some.
And I was like, while the teacher was singing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go try this. Throw one up and catch it in your mouth. Well, I caught it, and it lodged in my throat. So, she was talking to the front of the class, and I was in the back of the class choking, and no one noticed. So I was in the back of the class choking, and no one even seemed to care.
I was really, really little. It happened in this living room, actually. I was laying in the floor right actually behind where the camera is sitting, and my dad had cut me up an apple, and he cut it up into these pieces, and they were probably about this big, and I was about 4 or 5, and I decided I was going to lodge one up this side of my nose. So I lodged it up in there, and then I looked over at my sister, and she was sitting in this chair we used to have, and I go, there's an apple up my nose. So, so she takes me back there to my dad, and he uses these little tweezer things, and he can't get them out. So I had to go to the hospital, and luckily my mom was working at the hospital, that night, and so she just kind of, like, took me back there to this room and, like, sucked this thing out of my nose. And, it smelled like apples for, like, a week.
Well, I remember I was on the playground, and I was swinging. And, like, this guy was sitting in front of me, and I'm like, you need to move or I'm going to kick you. And he's like, no, you won't. I don't think you'll do it. And I'm like, well, can you move? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. So I start swinging, and he comes closer, and I end up kicking him in the throat. And I was like, well, I told you to move. But he sat out the rest of recess, and he was crying. And that was a victorious moment.
Anyway, this one time, I fell down so I used to go to this school when we still had recess, and they were trying to grow, like, some pine trees or something, and they were like probably about like here's the ground. They were probably like that much taller off the ground, and then there was this one that was like that tall off the ground. I don't know if you guys can see, but and hold on, okay, and anyway, we were all like, I bet you can't jump over the tall one. So this guy, Shane, he runs up and he jumps over it, and then he makes it. So I'm like, yeah, well, I bet I can still do that because I did it one time. And then like I ran and like I jumped and I got it, but then like my knee decided to give out. So I fell, and it was like on this little hill thing, and I tumbled down the hill. And then the fence stopped me, or I probably would have been in the road. So that's the time I rolled down the hill at recess.
Oh my goodness. Say
What is
bye.
it? OMG, it's a kitty. Hi,
a
Bootsy.
kitty.
Hi, Bootsy. Oh no, I don't like people. Okay, bye, baby.
Rejected.
I love you.
She doesn't look.
Right in a corner now, guys.
Anyway, question of the day.
No one loves you.
What is your most embarrassing or funniest story of your childhood? It could be recently. Like, not too long ago, I fell going up the stairs in school. Tons of people behind me, but you know.
Who falls going
I tripped
up
over
the steps?
I tripped over a trash can. Legit, that happened.
I fell in a trash can. I was jumping over it.
So, we'll see you guys
Later. Bye.